it's Evelyn, and this week we're going to go over my new bouquet making station. Now I love this is by the way is the bouquet I made today, so I'm holding it. I love my bouquet making station that I had last year. The only problem with it is that it was set up so that I faced the wall, so I couldn't actually create bouquets and film them properly. So just for you guys, I decided that I would rearrange my station so that I could have my camera over there, which is actually my phone, and be able to film how I make bouquets, different bouquets as the season goes through. Now I'm holding a bouquet because this is my one that's ready to go up to the flower wagon when the one that's up there sells. I'm only getting enough flowers to do about 1 or 2 bouquets a day right now. However, I can't make a bouquet for you today because after this one I have no peonies left that are ready to cut, or the alliums. So you'll have to wait for future videos for that. So you'll have to make sure that you are subscribed so you get my bouquet making videos. So please subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, like and comment. I'm just gonna put this bouquet away and we'll go over how the station is laid out. Oh, got the bucket here. Okay, so in order to go over how the station is laid out, I'm actually going to take you off of my stand there, put you on my little portable stick, and then show you how it is that way. So just one sec. Where my camera was basically facing when I was filming myself talking to you guys, now I'm holding the stick where I had the camera set up before. Now what you'll see that I have here is just my wheelbarrow, and it's stored. I've just got some things in it. As we just tossed her ball in there. Shouldn't have done that because now she'll want it thrown anymore. That was over here so that I could film myself. Here is where I still have some sunflowers. I've got my chocolate mint, just a couple little miscellaneous other things that need planting. Here is the first table, and below it I have, do you recognize this? If you recognize this, tell me what it is. Put it in the comment section below, and later on in the video I'll tell you what it is. But anyway, that's where I put the slough off from the table. So I have dustpan and little dustpan. I've got this so I can just sweep stuff down and into that. Got some spare buckets over there. I've got my pruners and scissors. Literally, this is all I use when I'm cutting flowers and making bouquets. This is for most of the flower stems, and this is for the woodies. I don't have anything fancier than that. They're both quite old. So this table looks quite dirty. Don't care about that because it's just for making bouquets. And this is where I can lay out stems and rearrange or tear apart or do whatever I want. It's basically a complete workspace. Then if I face the closed-in section of our garage, you can see I've got pails with my fillers, my woodies. I have here my, what's this called? I've forgotten what it's called. I'll put it on the screen, but it's this beautiful sort of lemony maple leaf. Next to it I have beautiful burgundy cherry leaves, and I'll put the name of this on the screen as well. And where is it? Oh, you can't see it, it's over here. Here I have some shorter stems, not very many left, I've used up most of them, of long-needled pine. I'll put the name of that up on the screen as well. And I really rely heavily on that for my spring bouquets at this time of year because I just don't have that much to make bouquets out of. Next to that, I have 3 anemones ready to go into pop cans. So this is a blueberry. You can see it's got the blue on the inside. Then I've got the strong blue, and this would be another blueberry. Although one of my blueberries had red on the inside. I'll put a picture up of that on the screen. So I like that. I'm gonna have to mark that one because it's a completely different color. I have in here, I have a couple of, well actually I can make another bouquet. I have a couple of peonies and rhododendrons ready to go to make my next bouquet. Actually I got some shorter stems of this in here, but they're too short for bouquets. Here's where I roll out my paper. I've got a marker here. I can just, whoop, that dropped on the floor. Sorry about the noise. I can just move my cut pieces over, just pull this out to the edge of that, And then I know that's my marker for cutting. And I can just take my straight edge here, put it along there. Look, I got a ball here. And then literally just tear it off. So that's how I cut my bouquet wraps. They're 18-inch squares. I just keep them over here, far away from where any water would be. And then my spare bouquet is what I have here. I just keep it in water in a bucket. But when I make bouquets, I have this beautiful piece of burl here. I have some concrete board there. And I'm going to literally just hold it up against the concrete board in a direction that I like and take a picture of it. And I'll show you the picture that I took of this bouquet. Put that back in the water. And it stores back here because no sunlight reaches that spot. So other things that I have in my bouquet making station is just below the tabletop. You can see I have to still file those away. That's just from when it was seed starting. I keep some pop cans here, and I put flowers in pop cans and sell them. $4 for a pop can or 3 for 10. People love that because the pop cans can easily sit in their car drink holder. Often they'll buy a bouquet for somebody as a gift, and then they'll buy a pop can's worth of flowers for themselves. Right next to it on the floor, I have dried astilbe because I think it makes a really beautiful addition to spring bouquets. In fact, if you look at this bouquet and you look in here, there's dried astilbe there and there's dried astilbe there. And it looks really beautiful in here with the peonies and the allium and the rhododendron. I also have some kale flowers from my kale plant that refuses to ever die. Here is the long-needled pine. Here is the maple leaves. And I also have some of the cherry branches in here as well. So next to the dried astilbe, I also have dried poppy pods, which I use an awful lot of when I make bouquets. Oh, look, she wants her ball and she's giving up on me? No, she's just... Are you giving up on me? No. And yeah, so I have my dried poppy pods, my dried astilbe, garbage can and dolly. And that's what I have. Oh, I have tires, but these tires actually belong in our garage. But if you look at my garage right now, you can see we're using it as a clear coating station. So car's not in there. Car's over there underneath our gazebo that's at the bottom of our driveway. So that's a room that is clear from dust, and nobody goes in. Dogs can't get in. I've got a little dog gate there, or baby gate. And yeah, so we are clear coating our kitchen doors in there, or I am actually. Bruce makes them, I clear coat them. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, sitting on the floor. Have you remembered where I got this from yet? And if you have you put it in the comment section below? Well, this actually came from the beach. I found it on the beach. Put the picture up now. It was full of water, so I knew it was waterproof. So I actually used it in my seed room when I was getting my glads going in the seed room back in the middle of March. And again, I'll put a picture of that up on the screen. And it worked great, but I don't need it for that anymore. So it makes a great place to knock the slough off down and into this container down here. Does anybody know what this is actually originally used for? Because I don't know. I don't recognize it as anything terribly exciting. If you know what this thing is actually originally used for, put that down in the comment section below as well. Yeah, so the other thing that I want to do now is just take you quickly into the garden. I know I just did a mid-May garden tour. Mid-May? Or was it mid-April? Boy, I can't tell, time flies. Mid-May. Mid-May. I just finished a mid-May garden tour. But things are changing rapidly, so I just want to show you what I actually have for flowers now for bouquets. You'll see it's not that much, but it's certainly a lot more than I had for the garden tour, so let's go check that out. So as you can see, the alliums are really starting to open up. They're not full globes yet. They start opening up and they're flat in the bottom, but they turn into full globes. The peonies, I cut them as fast as they get ready to open. Like this one's ready to cut, and I'll probably cut that this evening because it's middle of the day and the temperature's not right for that. So I have been cutting, I've been able to cut about, I don't know, maybe 3 peonies a day. Not a lot, but enough to keep things going. There's a few more over here. Yeah, so in another few days, of course, the peonies will be an explosion. This is the kale flowers that are the gift that keeps on giving, which I will use until they are no more. And then, if you come down our side fence, which is not supposed to be seen by anyone, so it can be a bit of a mess. It's actually my workstation. As you can see, I've got a little potting station right here. But this is where I'm getting the rhododendrons that I'm using, because as you can see, if I step over to our fence, they hang over the fence quite a bit there. So I need to prune them because otherwise they hit the house. So I prune them when they're in flower, and I use a lot of them. The biggest issue with them is, I'll pull down a branch here, you can see how curved that stem is. So they need to stay at the lower part of the bouquet. Isn't that pretty? I need to stay at the lower part of the bouquet because they don't have long straight stems, they have very curly stems. Really, that's all the flowers that I have. Okay, we're back in the bouquet making station. You can see I actually have some maple leaves down there. And this is what I do, is I can just put stuff down here on the table and then make a bouquet that way. But of course, when I'm doing it for you guys, I'll have the camera set up over there and facing me like I had it set up at the beginning of this video. But I wanted to show you quickly what all these branches look like. So there's the maple branches. The biggest problem with the maple branches is they tend to be one-sided. So I will put one of these in the center of the bouquet so the color comes through, and not so much on the outside of the bouquet. Also because the leaves are quite big. So if they're on the outside of the bouquet, those leaves can cover up the flowers. Now the long-needled pine, they're like the rhododendron. They curl. So they don't make a good, they're difficult to use, but they're handy to use because everybody really loves the texture. But they're hard to work into the bouquet as well because of how curvy the stems are. And a lot of them are quite short, so they tend to sit lower down in the bouquet as well. Then we've got the maple branches, which if I pull one out, you can see they're kind of long and gangly. But the long and gangly is fine because you can just use, it's actually not a very good one. Let's see if I can pull out a nicer looking one. I can use my workstation to just throw things on. Okay. Here's one. So you can see, let's go up here where you can see the backdrop of it better. You can see I can just cut these into 2 different stems, and then they're quite long and thin. These are great for working into the bouquet any way that you want. So the maple leaves can go up the center, the pine can go down near the bottom, and then these can just get fitted in the way you do with flowers. So they're much, much easier to work with. And yeah, so what I want to do is put a link up here for my last year's bouquet making station because I really liked it. The only reason I've changed it this year is literally for you guys so that you can see me as I make bouquets. Because if you look at the bouquet that I've got for this, for next up to my bouquet making station, you can see I don't make standard market bouquets. I don't want to make standard market bouquets. I personally don't like market bouquets. I've never bought one, I've never liked them. I like a bouquet to have far more unique look, and with the maples, the pine, and the cherry branches, it gives it quite a unique, it looks full, but that's because of those branches. Those filler branches just take up a lot of space. And then the little touches of the dried astilbe really look cool in there. And then of course the peonies and the rhododendron are just, you know, they're just the beauty. Oops, I got a dog jumping up on me. They're just the beauty of the bouquet. And I like putting in a little bit of the kale flowers because I have so much of it. I like to use it. And it makes my bouquets be quite different from everybody else's. And I like that. So yeah, but I'll put the link to the bouquet making station up here. And I will also put a link down here to the flower wagon and how I use pop cans in it so that you can see how the pop cans work with the flower wagon. See you next week. Bye.